Hey, what's going on everyone? Hux21 here, back with another Splinterlands video. So we are almost through the Rebellion cards. In this one, we are going to cover the neutrals. And this one's always fun because, remember, these cards can be played across every single Splinter, besides in the no neutral rule sets. So very flexible cards, tons of possibilities. Always fun to talk about the neutrals. So here we have a 9 mana tank look. Oh, so you know how Untamed kind of had fake Shield Bearer? This kind of reminds me of the fake Shield Bearer. It's not good like Shield Bearer, but it brings some of the same things to the table. Like this card's not bad. Like melee only with the Corrosive Ward, where your opponent loses 2 of its max armor every time a melee card hits that. I've talked about it a lot. I feel like Corrosive Ward is going to be one of those abilities that's really hard to strategically make use of. Sometimes it'll just work because you'll play a card with it, but you need to make sure this card gets targeted. You need to make sure your opponent is bringing melee, and that melee card, 1, has to have an armor, and 2, the armor has to be relevant, right? If you're doing a lot of magic damage and you get rid of an armor, when that card gets up to the front, it probably doesn't matter that it lost an armor. So there's a lot of things that need to go right, or a lot of things that need to happen for Corrosive Ward to be useful. So this card's fine. I don't think people are going to be playing it that often. For 9 mana, I just don't see it. This card could be fun. Does it get a 3rd attack? No, only gets to 2. Okay. I mean, I like this card. You could play it with a General Sloan, get it to 3, maybe put it next to an Izzyar. Maybe then get it to 3, 4, maybe even 5 with all the potential Resurrects in Life and Dragon. This is a cool card. I don't think it's overpowered. They've done a really good job with these double strike and multi-attack cards, I think, of not making them too absurd. Especially now with Martyrs, you can just boost them up. So I like this card. I think it's worth 7 mana. I'm going to want to try to play with it. Good card. And then we have this big boy. I've obviously seen this guy. He's absurd. 27 combination armor and health. Think about this with weak magic, where this becomes void armor. Play it with Wraith. It also has flank, so put it up front, and then Jared Scar, Grund, Grum, all those guys. Put them in the second position, and they can fire away while your opponent has to get through this behemoth. Think about weapons training. You toss this in the back. Think about Bakjira in this, with a weapons training card in between it, in the back lines. They're going to be attacking, and when they get to the front, they don't lose that attack if it's magic or if it's melee. They'll still be firing from the front, and they'll have to get through. Your opponent will have to get through just absurd amounts of health and shield. It's such a fun card. It's like someone offered up this card as a joke, and they were like, "Actually, that's not too bad. Let's do it." I'm a huge fan. I'm going to want this card a lot. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be frustrating to go against for sure. Chaos Lackey. Ugh. I don't really get this card. 1 damage? I mean, so the main thing is Dispel, I guess? So if you're expecting a lot of, like, Bloodlust, maybe? I don't know. I mean... Right, so there's a use case for really fast Shatter monsters, because you can kind of guess sometimes when your opponent's going to bring a ton of shield. I wonder, is that going to be the case for Dispel at some point? Where you're going to be able to predict kind of that you need to bring a Dispel and it needs to hit quickly? If that happens, then I get it. But until that point, I'll never play this card. I'm not going to max it up. No, it's one of my least favorite cards probably. The 1 damage is just not good enough. Okay. We have a weapons training. Does this get to 2? No, another 1. Has camo, has phase. So, I mean, I don't know. In the higher levels, there's just so much void, so much magic reflect. And I mean, you're passing on 1 magic damage to the cards you're weapons training. So, if there's void, no one involved is going to do any damage. I don't get this card, and I don't really get the last card. So a little disappointed in the last 2. they don't bring enough support characteristics for their attack to be that low. We have a neutral opportunity monster. I already said I was really excited for this card. It's immune too, so you can do some really cool things in poison. You can boost this up. I'm really excited for this card. This is probably going to be one of the more widely used cards in the set, just because it's neutral, it's immune, it's opportunity, it's not that expensive, does a decent amount of damage, decent speed, good health. Like across the board, this is just a great card. I'm excited to get a neutral opportunity card. Drybone Bodog. We've got a lot of dogs, and I think they're like snakes. Okay. Oh, this is a great card. I like this. So 3 attack, ambush. So I've mentioned it a few times, but there's going to be an ambush round, which is basically going to become round 0. So right when the match starts, this card is going to scattershot 3 damage. It could eliminate one of your opponent's most important monsters before the match even starts. So this is going to be an interesting card if you bring it out, because that wherever that 3 lands, talk about RNG. That could be the difference between a win and a loss right before the match even starts. So this is a cool card. I like the concept. Then we have this card's kind of this card. It's like Lord Arianth, kind of. If you remember that card, it's mixed with like Almo, I guess, because of the immunity. But it doesn't. I mean, it's not fast I'm only saying that because of the immunity. But this is an absurd small defensive tank because you can't get rid of its armor. It has repair. Any type of damage it takes is going to be cut in half. This is going to be a must-own card, in my opinion, to be successful. And it is. I hate that I have to count these. Is there a better way besides counting these to know? Like, it's rare because there's 8. Oh, it says 8 right here. Okay, sorry. Still, though, if you get it at level 4, you'd still have to see how many were left. But I understand. There's a little number here that makes it a little more... it makes it easier. Yeah, this is going to be a must-have card, for sure. Like the new Lord Arianth, except better. Oh yeah, this card. I liked this card when I was opening it, because like level 1 is pretty crazy. So again, look out here I get. Because you put this in the second position. You put taunt. I mean, I guess you could put the taunt behind it too. But you put a taunt in the first position. This card's attacking. And any damage the taunt is taking gets reduced if it's opportunity, sneak, snipe. So you know it's going to attack the taunt if they have opportunity, sneak, snipe. So putting this in the second position with a taunt in the first position makes a lot of sense. I mean, I haven't done this and I've tried to not do this, but imagine that card in the second position with Bara. I mean, that's insane. Or, I mean, even go back. That card in the second position with here. You got strength, you got shield and void that's already cutting it in half, and then down by an additional 1 from the lookout. This card's great. I really like this card. The Great Porcupine. Okay, I mean, this is, to me, if this was a rare, I'd be like, sweet. Epic is kind of like, alright. I mean, it can be a little sneak defender. Similar thing, right? We're getting more interesting ranged only cards where you have a low mana with close range. I think Earth had a low mana with close range too. So now we get one with neutral. Just to give you more flexibility in those matchups. Like, I get why this card exists. 2 more. Mantaroth. This was the other promo card. And this card's amazing. It's got the Armored Strike shield with the blast. And it's going to repair itself too. So it's going to sort of keep replenishing its Armor Strike. It's going to hit for 4. blast, hit for 3, blast. I mean, awesome card. Really, really, really great card. It's another card I'm going to want. Melee only, you play this with the bird too, or just no magic, you play it with the bird. It's a good combination with the shield ability. And finally, Nalara Gainek. These names. Oh, what? Alright, I mean, I get it. Silence, Void. This is one of those cases where they gave it one magic attack so you can play it in the magic only rule sets. I'm convinced that's why they gave some of these cards one attack. And I think that's the case here. I think this is fully supposed to be a support card. And they're like, well, wait a minute. We can't play it when it would most be necessary for support unless we give it one magic damage. So I think that's what's happening here. I would almost ignore this. And this is a great card to toss in there in magic only rule sets. You're going to nerf it. When it gets to the front, it's going to take half damage. So this combination is really, really awesome. If you have a magic reflect monster, it's going to amplify it. Just a perfect card to play in magic only. So I get this card. Just ignore the attack, basically. And that's it. That's neutral. I mean, some pretty interesting cards. Here. Some questionable cards. I would say here. But yeah, I think a solid set of cards. The opportunity card's great. This card's great. It's going to be fun. I'm very excited for Rebellion to get here and finally start using these cards, opening the packs. It's going to be great. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm very excited for the real thing. I'll talk to you guys soon and see you around the game.